You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Believe After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Believe After Show.
I don't know the words either.
I only know like the 10 words in the middle.
And we'll see those later on in the show. Guys, welcome to the Believe After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Season 1, Episode 12. And really, it's season only, episode
I know,
last.
it's so sad.
This is real sad. I'm Bobby. Okay, let's try that again. I'm Bobby DeMuro with our co-host Studley in between us, and of course the wonderful Kate Aquillano. Courtney Henderson could not be here tonight, and
we miss her.
Because she's not here on the season finale, she's no longer our friend. So, just kidding. We love Courtney.
I was like, that's a little harsh.
Believe it or not, she'll be back. All right, let's get into the show right now. Before we do that, though, one quick thing. Maria Menounos, our boss, the founder of AFTERBUZZ TV, has a new book out, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness. I don't know that we've talked about it on Believe yet because we had last week off.
Maybe one time. The week before.
That's
true.
But
it's a really great book. You guys should check it out.
It is a good book. There's a ton of information in this. And really, if you support AFTERBUZZ, you like what we're doing, you support our shows, we try to keep it as commercial-free as possible here, and I think we do a pretty good job.
Definitely.
So if you want to support us financially, something like this is the way to do it. It's a great gift. It is summertime. It is a great time to get in shape. Lord knows we all need that, except for Kate, because she looks perfect.
I mean, keep it coming.
Yeah, believe it or not, she's
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free.
Sorry about that. Let's go back into the show. But as we were saying, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness is available in bookstores everywhere, Barnes & Noble and places like that, and also online. Kate, I believe it is #3, I want to say, on the New York Times bestseller list.
No way. That's awesome. Congrats, Maria.
Doing very well. And it could be higher. It was #3 the last time I checked, so it could be a little higher.
I bet it's #1. Just saying.
It better be #1.
I believe it's #1. Yeah.
Believe it or not, it might be #1. Okay, let's get into the show now because Lord knows we've wasted enough time.
It's the finale. We have to have some fun.
We've got to have a little bit of fun. Let me tell you guys, it ain't water in these cups. Okay, let's talk about Scorus and Winter first. There's a lot to talk about with Dani, and we'll get there. And, of course, Bo and Tate's lovely relationship.
Oh, my God, teared up.
But let's start with Scorus and Winter because they come together for the first time ever to work as a team.
Yeah.
And Scorus confronts Winter about Dani wanting to kill Bo. Winter doesn't understand this threat, of course, and Scorus has to tell him. Do we take Scorus at his word? Is he just in it? Like, because that's your question, right?
Yeah, I mean, he comes to the warehouse, wherever it is that building is, and I just think, you know, like you said, Winter doesn't know anything about Dani. He doesn't know how dangerous she is, the threat that she is to Bo, and I kind of think he, like, believes him a little too quickly. They have so much history, and then he's like, all right, I guess I have to go along with this because it's for Bo. But if you really think about it, that's like the one thing Scorus would use if he wanted to like double cross Winter or play something against him. So I don't know. I think he trusted him a little quickly, but it turned out okay.
Looking at it differently. Yeah, we knew it was going to turn out okay because it's the finale. Looking at it differently, though, you're right that it's the only thing Scorus could use to get Winter is Bo.
Exactly.
But it's also the only thing Winter can use to get Scorus is Bo.
Sure.
And these two guys are not the most truthful with each other. They're not the best buddies. They're antagonistic towards each other. But the one thing they have in common, and I really believe this even about Scorus, is undying love for Bo.
It's true.
They will do anything for that girl. And so that's one of those things like this is going to sound dumb, but you ever been in a relationship with somebody where like you joke about stuff, but there's that certain
That's the one thing
you can't joke about?
Do not joke about like Bo's safety.
Exactly.
I could see that.
Exactly.
They
And
wouldn't go there when she's in danger.
Bo's like the magic word, and you can say anything else about the FBI and orchestra and stuff like that, and we'll fight each other. But when it comes to Bo's
The
safety,
well-being of
Exactly.
Bo is priority for both of them.
Yeah.
Just they see it in different ways, but ultimately it's the same thing.
precisely. The problem is neither one of them know where Bo is.
That's the thing. At the end of the last episode, you know, we talked about Bo confronts Winter about, you know, what role did he play in her mother's death after talking to Scorus, blah, 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 blah. And she says, I'm not coming with you. I'm going with my dad. And he has to accept it. And he takes Channing to a mystery hospital somewhere. We have no idea.
Bluefield, West Virginia.
That there. And believe it or not, we don't like know where.
I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer.
Please continue.
We don't know where Bo is. So what do we do now?
Well, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
But here's the solution. We use Channing, who's
course.
magically recovered from this gunshot wound in Bluefield, West Virginia.
I just can't get over Channing's injury. She's sometimes dying, sometimes walking perfectly. They opened the show, you know, the last time they were in New York City. They opened the show and they're on the border of New Jersey. Couple hours, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it depends which border, but yeah.
Less than a day. Let's just put it
for
out
sure.
there. But we go to Channing in less than a day. She's like up and at him. She's like cured.
And she's walking away in this episode, and she's walking normally, and all she's doing is
She's
holding
like
her
holding her stomach. Like that's doing anything.
Like she's like a pregnant woman or something. You know what I mean? It's like, wait a second.
That has been the one. There's been a lot of inconsistencies. A lot. But that one bothers me the most.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Because she was shot at like close range. And she was on her deathbed. But now she's all right.
Now she's all right 2 days later. Well, I mean, you know, the body works in mysterious ways.
I guess.
Believe it or not, you can recover.
I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free.
Now, the interesting thing about Channing, too, is they're using her as live bait.
Yeah.
Which, poor Channing has gone through the ringer this entire show. She was the one who went into Orchestra when she was kidnapped in the first place. Like, she is always being put through the ringer.
She is very loyal.
Winter, well, because Winter's too old. He can't do the physical stuff.
Yeah.
And then Channing was the one who Dani read, so they had to use Channing as live bait, even though she wasn't too excited about
Yeah.
it.
Well, I didn't. Okay, so she basically like opens up her mind, and because Dani had read her mind in the past, she has like a connection with her and can bring her to the place that they are. It was kind of confusing in how that all worked.
They said Dani has an echo of the target's consciousness in her, having read her. So if I had powers and I read you at some point, and then you
Okay.
left or whatever, I have an echo of that, of your consciousness, your thoughts, your being
with
within
like a
me.
GPS chip
Yeah,
inside?
it's like a dolphin with like sonar geolocation. Or
Like
something.
I can
don't
see
know.
like you kind of like are always connected, but like to go exactly where they are.
Well, I mean, but I don't know if it's exact, but remember, Dani goes through every single hideout that they had.
Yeah.
You know, she goes to every hideout, stuff happens. We'll talk about her in a second.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it comes down to with Channing, that Dani, because she's read her, has this always this faint read on her
Got it.
moving forward.
Yeah.
That's the
but
best.
Poor Channing.
That's the best I can do about it. Poor Channing is true. I feel, believe it or not, I feel bad for that girl.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel.
Okay, let's keep talking about. Actually, you know what? Let's transition real quick to Dani now,
Okay.
because the three
yeah, it all-
storylines are going to come together at the
Right.
end, and we'll leave that for that. So let's talk about the start with Dani. And the big story with Dani is the Vision. Well, but even before the Vision, she goes to visit her brother's grave.
Yeah, that was surprising to me.
Yeah.
Because you know, who was it? Zoe, which we never saw again. She was just supposed to erase her mind, but we never.
Rest in peace, Zoe.
She thought she murdered him and was just kind of covering up with the story that I didn't mean to do it and it was an accident. But then today, or in the episode, I was thinking like maybe she really didn't actually mean to murder him. And, you know, because why are you going to someone's grave when you don't regret it and you don't want to ask forgiveness and all this stuff? So it was the first time that I actually felt for Dani, because I thought maybe it wasn't murder. It was an accident. She didn't know how to control her powers. She was young. And, you know, and now she is the person she is today because no one understood her, et cetera, et cetera. But it was really interesting that she went to his grave.
And that's the first time, obviously, that we've really humanized Dani, because we've always known that Dani is kind of crazy, kind of sociopathic, kind of, let's not get on her
Very
bad side. And by kind of, I do mean very. But we've also known that Dani is very jealous of Bo, but we don't quite know why, and all this kind of stuff. But this humanization shows Dani's objective. Aside from Bo, aside from Scorus, her real objective is she's searching for forgiveness from her brother, and because her brother's dead, believe it or not, she's never going to get it. So Dani then goes after the grave, cries and cries at that scene. That was a touching scene, even for this sociopath that we have to deal with.
It was.
I don't know why I'm touching Studley so much, but he's soft. So Dani goes after the grave and starts methodically going through the hideouts. And she goes to the first hideout, to the loft or whatever, sets it on fire.
The whole burning of Bo's pictures.
Pretty sad.
It was really sad because I feel like that was, the one chain from the whole season. There's all the pictures that she drew or...
That's a good point. That's like your Instagram account is a chain of your life. Her pictures
that she drew were a chain of like the people that she helped and all of, her life and her, her mom. And it was really sad to see it all destroyed.
That is pretty sad. And that's a great point.
Thank you.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm impressed. Okay, so Dani keeps going to all the other places, all the other hideouts. They eventually trap her, Scorus and Winter and these guys trap her at...
it was like a boathouse.
Yeah, at the boathouse hideout.
Yeah.
And they gas her, and the gas does no work.
The gas, I'm like, why are they sending Zepeda in? It's not working. She is not on the ground. I don't know how she did that. She's got some crazy powers. But, yeah, it didn't touch her.
It didn't affect her at all. And poor Zepeda, your contention is at this point Zepeda's dead.
Zepeda's dead. We see that Zepeda died. She brings his body and puts it in a public space with... This is the other thing. She's not just like hurting Bo. She wants to take down, or like she wants to expose Orchestra. So she takes Zepeda's dead body, puts it in, I don't know, a public square, wherever they are, with documents from Orchestra that would reveal tons of classified information. But I don't know if it's the FBI or whoever gets, secures the body and secures the paper before anything happens or anything's let out into the public. But that's when Scorus is like, we need to clear everything because sooner or later, she has this stuff. She could call the Times, she could call anyone, release this paperwork, but it won't be a story if nothing exists. So that's why he's going to like clear Orchestra altogether, destroy it, which is kind of like a win for Bo as well.
Dani is the eraser, believe it or not.
She is.
But that's the thing, Dani is seriously the eraser in the fact that she erases all of Bo's memories with the drawings. She erases the loft quite literally by setting it on fire.
By blowing it up.
She erases Orchestra inadvertently, well, not inadvertently, but indirectly.
Yeah.
By having Scorus erase all of
Yes,
Orchestra.
she sets the plan in motion.
So Dani, until the very end when she changes, Dani is of the kind of mindset that slash and burn. She's like, if I can't have it, no one can. If I can't get... if I can't have Scorus love me or have me be his favorite, no one can. And I'm going to burn all
I
this.
can't get the forgiveness of my brother, then no one else can be happy, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
She's just going to take everybody down with her because at this point in the show still, Dani is suffering from the degrade.
It's
and
getting
she's
worse.
Dying very quickly.
Believe it or not, she's going to die like in the next... Yeah, the degrade is happening on her face. Like, you could see it more. And Scorus has said this is the quickest onset we've seen of the degrade. And she knows that. And she knows that she only has so much time. So, like, let's make an impact.
And an impact she did make.
Yeah.
Moving on to Bo and Tate before we get to the very end when all these three stories come together. At the very start with Bo and Tate, this is the cutest...
Wait, which part?
The very start of the show. When they're in the car.
Oh, yeah.
In the gas station.
Yeah.
And they're talking about going to Mexico, which was, I believe, my prediction.
Did you say that?
Yeah, you got to go to Mexico. But she can't be enrolled in school. Believe it or not, Mexico's the only option. Mexico's seriously the only option for these people because she can't enroll in school anywhere.
And he's still a fugitive. Everyone fails to remember that. He's still a
wanted
wanted
felon.
man.
He hasn't been, like, cleared of his murder.
No.
We know he didn't do it. But he's still convicted in a court of law.
Like, and the, FBI eyes, he did it and still needs to be put back on death row.
Which reminds me, no Farrell.
I know. I was thinking about that because that was your other big prediction that, well, believe it or not, if there was a season 2, we might have seen that happen.
I think so too, but there will be no season 2.
Sadly.
Yeah. So Bo and Tate, very, very cute, talking about going to Mexico and talking about white sandy beaches and all that sort of stuff. And then Tate does something with Bo about the lottery tickets.
Yep.
And then the real cool thing that I saw, I know we're going to get comments on YouTube because we do all the time about Tate saying I love you to Bo, which happens later on.
Yeah.
But the real cute thing I saw is when they're talking about going to Mexico and Tate says to her, how about it, you, me, and Stanley, and some cold beer?
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. Like, can you imagine?
How cute? Yeah.
Yeah.
But like another cute part was when Dan, I know we're jumping a little bit ahead, but Dani takes Bo at the Rutledge house or whatever
the
it
Rutledge
was.
house.
Before he gets in a car with Winter and Channing, he goes back to their car and makes sure that he grabs Stanley for her.
Because because Tate is becoming a better father every single day,
Better and
believe it or
better.
not. I'm just saying.
He missed that one.
It's okay. All right, so they're talking about Mexico, and then Bo goes into the convenience store, and I got chills up my spine, actually, in this scene. When
Why?
Bo is in the convenience store, and her mom,
Yeah.
the appearance of her mom shows up, which is significant, obviously, to her.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they did it, this was, honestly, it was a little scary.
I was very I was blown away that they would bring her back. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked
and
it too.
I thought I liked the role that she played in the finale, and I think it was very meaningful to have her involved. But yeah, I didn't expect it because we always see the mom in the butterfly form, kind of leading them here or there. But to have like a direct conversation with her was interesting, and she tells her to go look at the dove, I think it was, on the
Yeah.
bracelet. And she kind of gets a glimpse into Dani's background and the day that she killed her brother or accidentally killed her brother. And that's what sets the thing in motion.
Which is an amazing twist and a very cool, believable, didn't see it coming twist, although we probably should have, was the fact that the convenience store girl, the best friend is Dani. And everything is
Yeah.
interconnected. They went to this convenience store
Oh,
purposefully.
it had to be connected
It's-
that way.
That's awesome. That's not a cheap thing to me. Some things that
Yeah.
they've done to show are a little cheap.
Too
That one
coincidence,
was,
yeah.
I kind of liked that.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good.
So she sees the dove. She learns about the dove, and we learn that Dani, while she did kill her brother,
Did.
her motive maybe wasn't as cut and dry as Zoe, rest in peace, Zoe, thought it
Or
was.
Zoe. Yeah.
And so Bo has one of her moments. Tate doesn't want that to happen, doesn't want her to have one of her moments.
I know, it was kind of taken back when he was like, can you pretend that it didn't happen? Like, I know he wants them to live a normal life, and he wants that for her. He doesn't mean it in a malicious way, but he kind of is like, don't, just ignore it. Pretend it didn't happen. Can you do that for me? And you could tell, obviously, we know it was her mother, so we know how important and heavy this interaction was, and he doesn't. But it was a little like, really?
And at that point, she had not told him that it was the mother.
No,
Bo
not
had
yet.
not mentioned that it was a mother. So believe it or not, she's still hiding something from Tate.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bo, now what causes them to go back, and what causes Tate to be a believer in going back, is the breaking news they see about the loft going down, whatever.
Yep.
And then Bo says it. Bo drops and says, "I saw."
It was mom,
Mom.
and yeah.
And then the other thing, of course, that same motif that we see is the butterfly.
Yep.
They follow the butterfly all the way.
I love that Tate was like, am I seeing this? Do you see what I see? Because he's like, I don't know. I think he's weird. He's still a little weirded out by all the craziness and the ability. And he's like, do you see what I see?
For sure.
And they're like, okay, get in the car. And they follow it to the Rutledge house where they eventually come in contact with Dani.
And so here are where these three storylines intersect, which is why we did those little kind of interludes on all three of those.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, all the characters get together by the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some sort of a resolution. Okay, so the first things first when they kind of get there is Dani confronting Bo, throwing Tate against the wall. Tate's powerless to stop Dani,
Yep.
just like he's been powerless to stop Bo in a different way.
Yeah.
He's not going to tell her what to do. And then the thing I haven't written down too, and you mentioned, is Tate gets Stanley for
It was
Bo.
the cutest thing.
Even in a stressful situation, he's becoming a better dad.
Of course.
What a guy.
He's such a good guy. Believe it or not, he's a good dad.
He is a good dad.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of him. And then we also see Scorus shutting down Orchestra, which we talked about. But then Dani brings Bo back to Scorus, and this is where things get a little heavier. And the interesting thing in this scene for me is when Tate and Winter get to Scorus, Bo's already there, Scorus is there, Dani's waiting for everybody, and the doors go locked, and Bo's powers are now rendered useless again.
Well, the door shakes a little bit, just like when they were in the
sewer?
underground thing and she couldn't remove whatever and they couldn't get out. But yeah, it's a little weird, a little convenient that her powers work sometimes and not others.
Incredibly convenient. But then Mom shows up
But
again.
then we have Mom.
Yeah.
And we have the I love you from Tate.
And that's the thing. And the mom is big because it's not only the I love you from Tate, but it's the fact of that the brother forgives Dani. And Dani needs to know that, and the mom is the go-between.
Right.
Being a spirit or whatever you want to call her, being a ghost.
Yeah.
Whatever the mom is, she's the go-between to tell Dani that, you know, your brother forgives you or whatever. And then Tate says, I love you. He also says, I've got your back 100%.
It was so
I
cute.
love you.
It was so cute. I loved it.
Was that the moment of the whole series
I mean,
for you?
I teared up.
Did you really, though?
I did. I mean, I cry at, like, commercials. So if you know me, like, and I'll cry at, like, a movie trailer. I cried. I mean, not cried. I tear, like a tear.
You know what? Believe it or not, I believe that.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer.
Now, one thing that I'm wondering about with Dani in
Yeah.
this scene with Orchestra is the flames.
You didn't like the flames.
Didn't like the flames. They looked like something that you would make in like the 1960s. They
Yeah,
were
they
bad
were-
special effects.
I mean, I think the showrunner, the producer, knew it was canceled by now. Maybe they didn't want to spend a little money on the special effects, but it did look a little weird.
It was just cheesy.
It was
And Dani's
cheesy.
just kind of standing there floating in between
I
them,
kn-
and then
You'd think she would be like flying them at the buildings. Like she didn't do anything. It was just like circling her. I'm like, wait, is she gonna like attack? Well, what's happening?
I don't know. And then Bo walks into the flames because why not? Like, why would Bo not walk into the flames?
Because Bo powers are at 100% now, like rather than like 10 minutes ago.
Bo is
But
a precocious little kid, and she'll walk into anybody's life, and she'll walk into Dani's flames, and it ain't no thing. Okay.
her mom told her to do it. She's gonna do it.
And then in the flames, we hear "listen to him,"
Yeah,
meaning listen to Dani's brother, and then magically, poof,
done.
done, all gone. Although the buildings are still on fire, the flames around Dani are gone, but the buildings at Orchestra still on fire.
Yeah, that was convenient because Orchestra, needs to be.
It needs to burn.
Yeah.
Because Scorus went over the top. Everything's deleted. Now let's burn the buildings down,
erased.
and it's all done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my part that I was like, what? I wrote in my notes. Dani still has the degrade. Obviously, she falls to the ground. Bo heals her.
Just like that.
I was like, when did she develop healing abilities?
Because Bo should have been back at Orchestra healing everybody then.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But, because she thinks, obviously, the episode is called Second Chance. She thinks that Dani deserves a second chance, just like Tate got a second chance.
Well, and she said that. She said everyone deserves a second chance.
Yeah. But healing her, I didn't know that was in her repertoire.
Well, listen, believe it or not, Dani is... Believe it or not, Dani is a redeemable... Dani is a redeemable character, just like Tate, just like Bo, just like everybody else, and she does deserve a second chance.
All right, whatever you say.
I mean, she was evil, but she was
She was
evil.
so evil. This little turnaround happened quite quickly.
But she was evil with the wrong objective. She didn't know that her objective was not true. She didn't understand her objective was wrong, and she didn't understand the emotion with her brother was wrong. So now that she understands those two things, I think her evilness, while we shouldn't make light of it, because she killed people. She killed people.
Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
She murdered at least two people.
Oh, definitely. If not more. We
Well,
don't know
Dani-
what happened in this
Dani
crazy
does-
girl's life.
Dani
but,
does not deserve a second chance.
But this, her hatred has kind of helped Winner and Tate and Bo because it destroyed Orchestra.
Yeah, but
So it's like, I'm not saying it's okay at all. But I'm just saying a little bit of the hatred kind of helped them.
just a little bit of murder.
Just a little bit of murder.
She murdered at least two people, and Zepeda did not go in there alone. So
No, so I'm sure those other people are
she
gone
murdered
as well.
like 6 or 7 people.
I would agree with that.
Okay, just so we're on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Studley agrees as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we are dealing with a serial
Serial
killer,
killer?
a spree killer. I don't know what you want to call her, but
But it's okay because she took down Orchestra.
yeah, she maybe doesn't deserve a second chance.
I
Believe it
don't
or not,
know.
I was wrong about that. And then we're left with the last scene in the show, of course, Tate playing the lotto the old-fashioned way.
I thought that was a really cute way to end it.
Yeah, it's a cute way to end it, but what are they going to do for money? Where's the money that they're getting
He's
to
going to work in Mexico.
Doing what?
I don't know. He has skills.
Maybe he will see Tim Robbins from Shawshank Redemption down there.
Could be. Great movie.
Yeah, great movie.
I
But
mean,
but he
great
goes to Mexico too to
Yeah.
escape. Yeah, okay.
But he was a little smarter and like set up a little money
Exactly.
aside. Tate didn't quite have that plan. They'll work it out.
Okay, here's my question about Bo then. Are Bo's powers, since she's not using them anymore and we know that she's not having the dreams
Mm-hmm.
anymore, are Bo's powers gone? Or are they like dormant and she's never going to have to bring them up to the surface again?
I think the more you use them, like the stronger you get. I don't think you'll ever lose them, but I don't think she's going to get better or stronger or
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
Believe it or not, I think that might be true.
So you're saying that Bo's powers are going to be, if not gone, just inconsequential and will never come up again.
And I think that was the goal the whole time, to be normal and have a normal family and to not end up like her mother did. And so we won that battle. Orchestra's gone. Winter and Channing are still alive, so that's a plus. Yeah. I mean, other than the murderer getting a second chance, I think everything was wrapped up kind of neatly.
The only thing I can say about the murderer, Dani, getting a second chance is Bo and Tate have to leave Orchestra when it's ablaze very quickly because sirens are coming.
Yeah.
And I know part of those sirens are fire trucks to put out the blaze.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it's also going to be police too because they need to figure out what's going on. I wonder if they we didn't see it, but I wonder if they held Dani and
No.
said, you got to go to jail. You think she's just free?
Yeah. I think that they understood. It's hard because she did kill people, but what she went through and her motivation was not.
You sound like an amazing defense attorney.
I would be an amazing lawyer.
Believe it or not, you'd get a guy off. Of murder. Of murder charges.
Of murder
Of
charges.
murder charges.
I would agree with that.
Okay, believe it or not, I messed that one up. All right, Kate, you take over for a while. I'm going to hide my face.
I'm going to just hide behind Studley.
Okay, I think we've talked about the episode enough. Let's move on to a little news and gossip.
What do you got? I just say it nonstop now.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, going to wipe my eyes a little bit from that one. We've got two pieces of news. Well, really one piece of news, and then we've got a debate question for you
Yep.
guys in the gossip section. News-wise, Johnny Sequoia, if you're wondering where you can see her next, because she is awesome. And that is
She's so cute.
one of the highlights of the
Great.
show. I didn't think, overall, I thought the acting was good. You know, I know the writing was maybe a little suspect.
I thought
the
Jake did
situations
a
were-
really good job as
Yes.
well as, first lead role. I
Yeah.
thought he did a great job.
And Jamie Chung and Delroy Lindo, you know what you're going to get with those guys. But it was
Exactly.
good. I thought it was good. Johnny Sequoia, pretty new to acting, as you might suspect. She's going to be on the big screen July 18th.
And what?
I'm about to tell
I'm
you.
intrigued.
Believe it or not, I'm going to tell you. The film is called Among Ravens. It is directed by Russell Friedenberg and Randy Redroad. Great name. It's
Okay.
going to premiere at the Nantucket Film Festival, probably a little hoity-toity film festival.
Probably.
And it's going to be released across the country in theaters and on demand on July 18th. It was picked up by Gravitas Pictures. It is an indie film.
Okay.
So if you're a Johnny Sequoia fan, that's something to watch. This is taken directly from thehollywoodreporter.com. The movie is, quote, inspired by real events and follows the intertwined lives of a group of friends and family as seen through the eyes of a 10-year-old girl named Joey, played by Sequoia. The events of the film take place during a July 4th holiday weekend in Idaho where secrets begin to unravel and have an impact on Joey.
Oh, geez. I'll watch it.
Among Ravens, July 18th on theaters and in demand.
I follow Johnny on Twitter.
Is she good?
She's the cutest little thing. She had a little follow Johnny, I don't know if it's contest, but to get to 10,000 followers, and she got, she got 10,000, and so she had a hashtag follow Johnny or something, and she was going to follow back fans that use the hashtag. So she knows how to use her social media.
Good girl. I would have loved to follow back from her, believe it or not. All right, let's move on to our gossip section. Believe it or not, guys, the show has been canceled. We've known this for a little while. This is the final episode.
Sigh.
My gossip debate question for you, Kate Aquillano,
Yep.
and honestly for you guys at home,
We
so
wanna
please
know.
answer on YouTube or on Twitter. We do want to know, so really tweet us. Like, I want to hear
For
your
sure.
opinions. Did Believe deserve to be canceled?
I'm torn because I think it had potential. You know, we've talked about those in-between episodes where not a lot happened. It was kind of formulaic, like she has a dream. She magically is within 10 feet of that person. She has to convince Tate to help them. They help them, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like if they had less of those and more of these very, I don't know, story-driven Tate and Bo kind of episodes, it would have been a little better. But I do think it was canceled too soon. But I feel that way about a lot of shows.
I think it totally deserved to be canceled. Believe it or not, I'm sorry.
Why?
Here's the thing. Now, to its credit, it's a very family-friendly show.
It was cute.
No sex, no violence. Dani murdered people, but we never saw gory
No gore.
murders. Nothing gory like that. So you could watch it with your kids. I think it's definitely something, if you're a Johnny Sequoia fan as a kid, it's absolutely something in your wheelhouse to
I
watch.
agree.
So that's a good thing. And there's not a ton of that on primetime television. There's a lot of
No,
gory stuff.
yeah.
And it was greatly improved when you mentioned the Bo and Tate relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Super improved. However, incredibly repetitive.
Yeah, during those.
Even not during those episodes. Unbelievably repetitive, not necessarily original,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of like special power shows that have happened. You know, there are a lot
yeah,
of things.
but that doesn't mean anything. There's
Well-
a lot of, cop comedies.
Exactly, there are, and there's too many.
Yeah.
Not original.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's very random with Bo's powers. They don't necessarily follow a strict set of rules.
Yeah, there was, like we've said, there's inconsistencies that needed to be answered, and little more details, had to be ironed out.
I just need to know a little bit more about her powers, specifically what she can and can't do, so it doesn't seem like they're flying by the seat of their pants.
Whenever it's convenient to use
Exactly.
it or not to use it. But yeah, I see it both ways.
And I maintain this would have been an amazing 6-episode miniseries.
I agree.
Would have been amazing like that. If you just knew you were going to get 6 and you had to wrap it up
I
in
think
6.
that's
or
going to
whatever.
happen more and more.
I think it will too, because of like True Detective and stuff.
Yep.
That's and this is not on the level of True Detective, but things like that
But
have had
same
such
idea.
success. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we want to know at home, you guys, on YouTube. If you're listening on iTunes, go
I
on
bet
YouTube and comment.
Everyone's going to agree with me.
Well, yeah, because come on, you're Kate Aquillano.
Come on, guys.
Believe it or not, we set that up tonight.
Do we have predictions?
Yeah, we do have predictions. Let's do some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Ooh.
Okay, so you can predict anything. You can say if there were a season 2, here's what's going to happen. Or you can predict, and this might be interesting, the career futures for some of these actors.
Can I do both?
Yeah, of course you
Okay.
can.
If there was a season 2, spoiler alert, they never make it to Mexico. Something happens. Farrell comes back. Some piece of evidence of Orchestra's existence isn't totally erased, and conspiracy happens, and Bo is at the center of it, and not in a good way, and they have to prove that she is a good person and keep her abilities under wrap.
All right, I'll do you one better on season 2. So Tate was in prison for murder on death row for a murder he did not commit.
Yes.
I say my prediction, if they had a season 2, Tate goes to Mexico with Bo, actually commits a murder, and has to go to Mexican prison.
Why would you put him in Mexican prison?
I don't know. He's defending Bo. It's a prediction for season 2. It's going to be a little goofy.
Believe it or not, I do not agree with you.
No love for you. That's right.
walking on air. I never thought I could feel so.
As far as their careers, I think Johnny is a great young actress. I think she's definitely going to keep doing more and more. Jake, I think this was a good, first lead. Like I said, I think I don't know. I've seen him more in a lot of action. Like he's done Army. He's comes from an Army background, so obviously he plays those roles really well. So I see him more in like an action kind of space.
I actually don't. I think this was a great role for him career-wise. Like we're talking like his manager or something. I think this was.
You need representation, Jake McLaughlin.
I think this was a great role for him career-wise to get away from military stuff and action stuff. And I agree with you. He's probably going to get typecast a little bit as action.
Yeah.
But he's not a bad actor. He's a good actor.
For sure.
And emotes pretty well, I think, for somebody who usually would get cast as a soldier. And I think this opens up, hopefully, some eyes to say, hey, you could be in some kind of an indie drama or some kind of a...
I don't know if he's that deep.
Really?
I mean, him as a person probably, but like I don't know if it comes across.
I think it could.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really think it could.
I hope
really think it
so.
could.
Because that would be cool.
And Johnny, Lord knows. A lot of time
God,
with child actors, it depends more on the off-screen life and what happens to them. Look at like a Macaulay Culkin or somebody. But
don't put those negative vibes out
no,
there.
well, I'm just saying. But let's be honest. I'm just saying it depends a lot on the off-screen life because on-screen she's got it. She's cute. She's fun. She's got this good presence. So.
But it takes a lot to be a child actor, as a lot of people read in gossip magazines. And so, yeah, hope all the best.
So here's to you, Johnny Sequoia. We hope you have a lot of success, and maybe we'll do another one of her shows in the future and bring her in and give her Studley.
Will you follow us back on Twitter?
Do you follow her?
Of course I do.
Believe it or not, I don't.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
That's going to be in my head for hours. Days.
Oh, Lord. Good. That's the point. It should be in your head for days.
I know. I'm going to be sad.
Believe it or not, it's my favorite song. I tried to do it one more time. It wasn't going to happen. Okay, as we get going today. Hey, first off, before we give out social links, seriously, guys, all the Believe fan clubs,
It's been
all the
awesome.
fans who tweeted us, all the people who did campaigns for bringing back Believe for a second season. Who knows? Maybe Netflix and somebody will pick it up.
You
It's
never
happened
know.
before. You never know. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free.
Thank you guys very much for all your support, all your tweets, all your
Awesome.
YouTube comments. It truly was awesome. Unfortunate the show doesn't get a second season and continue, but the first season was a lot of fun for us.
It was. We really enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks guys for always commenting and being
Yep.
involved and tweeting us. So it's been great.
Really wish Courtney could be here, but she's
Like
not.
we said, we're not friends with her anymore. So.
Yeah, we don't worry. She's not even our Facebook friend. We totally unfollowed her. Okay, social links, Twitter, Kate, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kate Aquillano.
Did you change your Instagram
Yeah.
so it's both Kate Aquillano?
I did. You catch that?
Gotcha. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm at Bobby DeMuro on Twitter, and believe it or not,
Ah, I should have used that.
all right, at Bobby DeMuro on Twitter, at Mr. Bobby DeMuro on Instagram. And hey, remember, I know Believe is over, but if you're a fan of AfterBuzz or if you're new at AfterBuzz because of Believe and it brought you in, subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on YouTube. There are tons of other shows on
many
here. There's a
great
lot of
shows.
stuff. I know we both do other stuff. So you can follow us on new shows, or if you have a favorite show, might as well watch the AfterBuzz recap. That's it for Believe. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's let Steven and the wonderful music take it away.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.